Rome wasn't built on speeches. It was built on concrete discipline and brutal efficiency. You've all heard of Julius Caesar. You know the name Augustus, the first emperor. But what if I told you that the true architect of the Roman Empire was a man who never wore a crown, never chased personal glory, and yet won every single war he ever fought? His name was Marcus Agrippa, and without him, the Roman Empire as we know it simply would not exist. Agrippa wasn't born into the elite. He had no ancient bloodline, no destiny handed to him on a silver platter. What he did have was raw, undeniable talent. As a young man, he befriended another ambitious youth named Octavian, the boy who would become Augustus. While others in their circle were busy politicking and chasing fame in the city, Agrippa was out in the field, training. He wasn't just learning to be a soldier. He was mastering the science of war. He studied siegecraft, logistics, and most importantly, naval warfare, which was, at the time, Rome's greatest weakness. He understood that power wasn't just about winning a fight. It was about knowing how to supply an army, move it, and break an enemy before the first sword was even drawn. When chaos erupted across the Roman world after Caesar's assassination, everyone had a claim to power. Octavian had the name and the ambition, but Agrippa had the ability. And in a world tearing itself apart, what Rome needed more than anything was results. Agrippa didn't just fight Rome's wars. He completely rewrote the rules of how Rome fought them. His genius wasn't just tactical, it was revolutionary. Take the war against Sextus Pompey, the son of Pompey the Great. Sextus had a powerful fleet and had cut off Rome's vital grain supply, threatening the city with starvation. While other Roman generals panicked, Agrippa saw a problem to be engineered. He did something unprecedented. He built an entire secret naval base from scratch. He connected 2 lakes to the sea, creating a hidden, protected harbor called Portus Julius. Inside this massive complex, he trained thousands of sailors and built a new kind of navy. He redesigned Roman warships, but his masterstroke was a new weapon, the harpax. It was essentially a giant catapult-fired grappling hook that could be shot at enemy ships from a distance. Once it hit, it couldn't be cut loose. This device turned chaotic naval battles, where the Romans were often outmaneuvered, into brutal ship-to-ship land fights, where the legionaries excelled. At the Battle of Naulochus, Agrippa's new fleet and new tactics didn't just defeat Pompey's navy. They annihilated it. Rome was fed again. The Republic could breathe. And Agrippa was just getting started. Fast forward to 31 BC, the Battle of Actium. The fate of the entire Roman world hung in the balance. A final showdown between Octavian and the combined forces of Mark Antony and Cleopatra. The sea was on fire. Hundreds of ships collided in a desperate struggle for supremacy. And who was in command of Octavian's fleet? Not the future emperor himself. It was Agrippa. Once again, his strategic brilliance was the deciding factor. He outmaneuvered Antony's larger, heavier ships, used his more agile fleet to cut off their supply lines, and systematically isolated and destroyed enemy squadrons. Seeing the battle was lost, Cleopatra fled with her contingent. Antony, heartbroken and defeated, followed her. The war was over. The Roman Republic was dead, and the age of emperors had begun. Not because of a prophecy or destiny, but because one man, Marcus Agrippa, understood the cold, hard mathematics of war better than anyone else alive. That single victory at Actium made Octavian the undisputed master of the Roman world. He became Augustus, the first emperor. And Agrippa, what did he do with his immense power and influence? He stepped back into the shadows. He proved that his loyalty wasn't to his own ambition, but to the stability and future of Rome itself. But Agrippa didn't just conquer. He built. With the same logistical genius he applied to war, he transformed the city of Rome. He constructed magnificent aqueducts, like the Aqua Virgo, that gave Rome clean water for centuries. He built public baths, roads, and a revolutionary new sewer system, the Cloaca Maxima, improving sanitation and public health for millions. That iconic building you see in every picture of Rome, the Pantheon, that was originally Agrippa's project. While emperors put their names on statues and temples, Agrippa gave the Roman people function and infrastructure that would outlast them all. He consistently refused honors. He turned down triumphs, the highest military honor a Roman could receive on multiple occasions, insisting the credit belonged to Augustus. He could have challenged for power, but instead he married Augustus's daughter, Julia, to secure the imperial line and ensure a stable succession. Power was never his goal. Rome was. Marcus Agrippa died relatively young, at the age of 51. He left behind no crown, no empire named after him. Yet every Roman road, every aqueduct, every monumental victory that defined the Augustan age bears his fingerprints. He wasn't the face of the Roman Empire. He was its foundation. So I have to ask you, if you believe Marcus Agrippa deserves more recognition, maybe even more than Julius Caesar, comment, Agrippa built Rome below. And if you believe that Rome would have crumbled into civil war without his genius, hit that subscribe button, because the greatest figures in history are often the ones we forget. Now tell me in the comments, who do you think was more important to the foundation of the Roman Empire? Augustus, the politician, or Agrippa, the builder? Thanks for watching.